And we're back. Day 1. I have no idea what, was it Adventus means? I guess it is like the beginning or something like that. Yeah, no idea. I think this game might be a little bit too British for me to stay completely with everything that's going on. There's already been a few words that I don't know, and maybe a little posh or educated in certain things, but we'll see how well my dull mind can keep up. So I'll still stay logical, and since the door was bolted, like she did last night, like she bolted it herself, she remembers it. I trust her memory more than mine. It was a dream about the cat that was in the bathroom, because, you know, the place is a little bit haunty. Charming in its own way, but, yeah, I would probably shit my bed. She did not.
The bed is comfortable enough.
Oh,
A sturdy-looking thing, useful to many a weary traveller. I've stored my case in there, a box within a box.
I was thinking, what's in the box? What's in the box? Sorry, bowl. Do I still have the jug? No, I don't have the jug at all. Let me see what she says.
An empty bowl has been provided for washing. I don't wish to carry the bowl around with me.
Right.
I don't wish to take it.
Yeah, I guess I should try to take more things. That is the name of the game, pretty much. We'll see.
Good morning, Miss Bateman.
Good day, Stanley. I must say, last night has rather put me off using these toilets.
Yeah.
Stanley is yet to set the fire for today.
Did you sleep well, Miss Bateman?
Not really. I have the rather queer recollection of a cat entering my room last night.
A cat, you say?
Yes, an odd-looking grey one. I must have been dreaming, as I locked the door and windows before I went to sleep. I saw a similar cat in the lavatories while searching for Mr. Tillett.
Ah, Herbert. Oh, he's a harmless thing. He comes in now and then searching for scraps.
Indeed. Seeing him in the lavatories must have conjured up the strange dream.
The mind is capable of manifesting frightful things, Miss Bateman. I'm happy to report the rain of yesterday has lifted. It's a clear morning outside. Crisp. I've prepared a room for your assistant. What time will he be arriving today?
His train will get in around midday. Kenneth will also be bringing my excavation equipment.
Oh, aye? What does that entail?
Picks, shovels, buckets, lighting and such. He usually packs it in a large crate. Come to think of it, I'll need somewhere to store it.
You're welcome to use the alley behind the inn for any such bulky items.
Yeah, I was just thinking this too. Like, I don't see what the alternative is. And people are wandering around in the back alley. So let's see if he'll give me any other ideas.
Is it safe to do such a thing?
I can assure you the local folk are not thieves, Miss Bateman.
That's not what I...
Now, say nothing more of it.
Thank you, Stanley.
I'll let you get on with your day.
I'll be back with my assistant when he arrives.
Miss Bateman,
Yes?
I've something I wish to get off my chest, as it were. I've been tossing and turning all night, Miss Bateman. I feel rotten, I really do.
What on earth are you talking about?
As you know, I like to run an honest establishment. And well, I have not been honest with you, lass. I do know of Hobbs Barrow.
You do?
I do. Many here do. There are stories tied to that place, you know. If I've learned anything in this life, it's that some stones are best left unturned. Old Leonard Shoulder is someone to be wary of too. I can't tell you what to do, lass, but you'd best avoid him.
Why must I be wary of Mr. Shoulder?
The man has a certain reputation.
For what?
You've seen it already. Were he here to meet you last night?
No.
Precisely. A man not to be trusted.
Where does Mr. Shoulder live?
I can't say for sure. As I think I told you last night, he's a quiet man and keeps to himself. He only comes in here to collect his post. Leads me to believe he lives a fair distance away. Certainly not in the village itself.
Might someone around Bewley be able to help me find him?
You could ask around. As I say, lass, Bewley folk mean well. Don't forget that.
Why lie to me about Hobbs Barrow?
I know, lass, I know. I feel dreadful.
But why? What are these stories you speak of?
I really can't tell you more. If you insist on visiting that place, you'll have to seek out Mr. Shoulder. He brought you here. He should be the one to tell you.
I must say, Mr. Kemp, this is all quite puzzling. I've never let local superstitions stop me in the past. I pride myself on being a woman of logic and reason. I've no time to waste on such matters.
As I say, seek out Mr. Shoulder. He can tell you more.
Where is Hobbs Barrow?
I don't know. I say that on my mother's grave, Miss Bateman.
I now find that hard to believe.
The moors are vast, lass. I'd tend not to go wandering out there. A grown man could lose himself and not be seen again.
I shall return later.
Good day to you, lass.
Weird stuff. Yeah, I guess there's more activity opening up around this town. I was sort of thinking like this barkeep he's oddly friendly in a way, because, well, he doesn't really have any choice, so he has to be as friendly as possible and then not really say anything. But he wasn't exactly trying to scare me off. Well, sort of. He was trying to make me mistrust Shoulder. And then sort of trying to push me away, but it makes me think like it doesn't seem like he has a plan in that sense. He's just trying to be sort of friendly or caring or something, because there's no reason for him to tell me to leave when he knows that I'm not going to leave. Or maybe he's just testing the waters. I don't know, but let's go outside and find out more.
It seems I may be fighting a battle against some sort of local superstition. Is there a single barrow in England that doesn't have some ghastly tale attached to it? Hogwash. All of it. I've a few hours until Kenneth arrives. I should use this time to find Mr. Shoulder.
Oh, map. Let's check that out now. So I guess I can just jump to where I want to go. And as Thomasina's story unfolds, new locations will be unlocked, allowing her to fast travel via the map screen. At certain points in the story, fast travel via the map is not possible. The map button will not be visible during these moments. Fast travel via the map is not possible when Thomasina is indoors. Okay, so the indoors thing is a good limiter, because sometimes in games they sort of hint at something happening to you by not allowing you to fast travel and stuff, so I will try to sort of avoid just fast traveling, because then it'll also give me a sort of idea where I'm going and the lay of the land and stuff, because like I said, I've already forgotten everybody's names. He looks dangerous. Kids are usually honest, so if I ask the kid something, then if his mom is like, don't talk about it, then I'll get a better idea of what's going on. But I need things to ask him, so I'll talk to this guy first.
Hello. My name is Thomasina, and you are...
Now then, that's none of your concern, love.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
I don't know out about no Leonard Shoulder.
It was just...
What can you tell me about Hobbs Barrow?
Naught to be found digging around in those things.
You know of local barrows, then?
Don't concern yourself.
Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
Nah. He might give me something, but it's... I don't know. It doesn't feel natural to carry on the conversation. So the crate is going to be here.
I see no sign of life within. The window is well out of reach.
So... let me also go to this house, because the window is open, so they might have seen something. They're probably just going to lie as well, but you never know.
Nobody home.
I know someone at least lives there. So keep that in mind. Hopefully it'll be useful at some point. Let's see if I can go anywhere over here.
The road disappears over the horizon.
Oh, no.
I see nothing but moorland.
Yeah, I thought that character was the guy for some reason. I sort of had a perspective error there in the last video. Let me bother him, because he looks like a tough guy. He's not going to start crying if I ask more
Hello?
questions.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
Not much around here, love. Not worth mentioning to you, like.
I see. What do you do around here?
Hey up, you're not scared of sticking your neb in. I look after the churchyard. Dig the graves. Ha!
What can you tell me about the church?
Aye, it's a church.
Quite. Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
Saint someone's church? Cannot remember. Edward's church? Alright, let's talk to the kid.
Hello?
Yes?
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Douglas?
It's a pleasure to meet you, Douglas. That's a great sword technique you have.
Thanks, miss. Mr. Crozier's gonna make me a real one when I turn 12. I'm preparing myself to fight the lantern worm.
There we go.
What is the lantern worm?
It's gonna come back and get us all. John Lantern thought he killed it at the River Ware, but my father told me it still lives. We must all be prepared.
The lantern worm isn't real, Douglas. Father just told you that to get you out of his hair.
Not true. I saw it slithering out by the beck. Like a giant eel it were. I ran home so fast I thought I would fly.
Sorry, miss. My brother has a vivid imagination.
Children often do at his age.
I'll keep training. You will all thank me when I thrust my sword deep into its fat belly.
Douglas, this lady doesn't want to hear your nonsense.
I don't really like the kid.
Do you know a man called Leonard Shoulder?
That's a funny name.
Have you heard of Hobbs Barrow?
What's that?
A local burial mound.
Our parents don't let us wander far from the village.
What's a burial mound?
Don't you mind about that, Douglas.
Who's Mr. Crozier?
He's a blacksmith. His forge is just over there on the other side of the square.
Don't you think 12 years of age is a little young for a real sword?
I'll be a master swordsman by then.
Do you like living in Bewley?
Yeah, I do. Are you from the city?
I'm from a long way away.
You must have come on the train. I love watching all the steam puff up into the sky.
Have you been on the train yourself?
No, miss. Our parents don't have the money for train tickets. Father says we have all we need here in Bewley.
Perhaps this nice lady would like to take you away with her on the train.
No, I need to stay and protect Bewley from the lantern worm.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, miss.
There we go. At least we got some honest information, although I think he was lying about Bewley. Or liking it.
Good day.
Hello, miss.
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Betty.
Nice to meet you, Betty. What are you up to?
My brother is practicing his sword fighting technique. I'm to watch him until he tires himself out.
I'm tireless.
This time last month it were all about his teaspoon collection. This month it's swords.
Yeah, that's why I guess he promised him a sword, because he's not going to be asking for it when he's 12.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
What do you know of Hobbs Barrow?
Our parents don't like us talking to strangers, miss.
So you know of it?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye, miss.
Sort of pissing everybody off here.
A small plaque beside the door reads Vicarage.
Alright, so I guess I should visit the church first.
The
What
sign
was
is
this
in a
again?
shabby state.
Oh, cobblers.
A local dwelling.
So they sort of push me towards the church.
The bucket is rusty and full of holes. This must belong to someone. I should leave it alone.
Pushing me towards the church. There is the blacksmith. I'll just piss him off too.
Good day.
Yes?
Mr. Crozier, I presume.
Aye, George Crozier, at your service.
My name is Thomasina.
Aye, can I help you?
Are you a Bewley native, Mr. Crozier?
Aye, born and bred. That's where my father's forge before mine.
It's a dartboard or then something else that I'm not seeing.
How is business faring?
I do an honest trade. There'll always be horses needing shoes and farmers needing tools. You let me know if you need out made or mended. I'll do you a fair price.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier.
That's good to know.
Do you know a man by the name of Leonard Shoulder?
Oh, aye. Old Leonard.
Have you seen him recently?
No, not recently.
Do you know where he lives?
Why all these questions, lass?
I need to speak with him. He invited me to Bewley.
Oh, he'll turn up. I've seen him in the plough and furrow from time to time.
But do you know where he lives? I need to find him.
I believe he lives somewhere out on the moors. Can't tell you out more than that.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier. Do you know of a local landmark named Hobbs Barrow?
There's a fair many barrows found out on the moors, lass. Too many to put a name to. Not a soul in Bewley pays them any mind.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
We don't get many visitors here, outside of market days. But there's plenty of work for the village blacksmith. Where are you from, then?
I arrived yesterday on the train from London, by way of Derby.
Oh, aye. I've heard about London.
What have you heard?
Plenty of factories there.
Yes, indeed. The city is always changing and moving forward.
Too busy for me, though, lass. I prefer a quieter pace. Aye.
When do market days run in Bewley?
Once or twice a month. The next one is tomorrow.
How delightful.
Unless your vice is cabbages, there'll be nought to interest a young lady.
I don't mind a cabbage.
Then you're in luck.
Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.
Huh. Oh yeah, I should look at it.
A fine white glove, gents style. I found it in the alleyway behind the plough and furrow.
Because I need to, like, this place doesn't seem like the place where people wear gloves like this. The only place might be, you know, the church or something like that. And also someone is missing a glove. So before I start waving it around, and showing people that I have it, I should actually probably go look around and maybe if I can see someone who would be wearing a glove or might own a glove like this. Because I'm thinking like it's a... I don't think priests wear gloves in any religion, really. Christian religion, I don't think so.
In memory of Peter Black. In memory of William Ager. In memory of Mabel Hurst. In memory of Benjamin Garkham. In memory of Millicent Smith. In memory of Henry Crozier.
It's his dad.
In memory of Romeo Hegg, dearly missed by his beloved Juliet.
Weird.
In memory of Percival Roach. In memory of Barnaby Tillett. In memory of George Paxton. The trusty trowel, the Barrow digger's best friend.
So maybe I'll never get my supplies, and then maybe I'm gonna have to find some and then ask. Well, the blacksmith isn't gonna do it for free, so maybe he needs something in return for basic tools. I don't want to steal this trowel though, but let me just see if I can pick it up.
Excuse me, do you think anyone would mind if I borrowed this trowel?
You help yourself, dear. Father Roach won't mind lending it. Just be sure to put it back when you're finished.
Of course, thank you.
It is more blessed to give than to receive.
Truly, that is the case. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for, and especially if it's borrowed. That's a, conversation starter. Let's talk to her.
The woman has a kind face. Hello.
Good day. Would you like to buy one of these cakes, pet?
What kind of cakes do you have?
I have some lovely Bakewell puddings, the sweetest marriage of almond and jam. I can tell you're not from around here, because if you were, you would know about my Bakewell puddings. They are quite famous.
Alas, I'm not carrying any money with me.
That's unfortunate, pet. I'm sorry, I can't give them away for free. The money goes to the church, you see, and one cannot shirk one's duty to the church.
I understand.
Yeah.
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Mrs. de Plancy.
A pleasure to meet you, Mrs. de Plancy.
Likewise, pet.
Tell me about yourself, Mrs. de Plancy.
About me? What would you possibly want to know about me? I've been attending St. Edmund's Church my whole life. I always want to help where I can, so I sell my baked goods, and all the proceeds go to its upkeep. This place means so much to me.
Alright, so maybe she has a proper excuse, because even though she's pretty old, that she might not know anything, and she's also maybe religious, so she's avoiding all topics like the Hobbs Barrow.
Your cakes look delicious.
I can assure you they are. You'll not find better in the entire county.
What can you tell me about St. Edmund's Church?
Isn't it the finest building? It's been standing here since the 12th century. The box pews in the nave are very fine and date back to the 17th century. The door is open if you'd like to worship.
Thank you, Mrs. de Plancy.
Right, so this is like the 19th century, I guess. Or it is. Not sure. Where to place it exactly. Not that familiar with British history, but it's around there.
Do you know a local man called Leonard Shoulder?
yes, I know Leonard. What business do you have with him?
It's a long story, but I'm trying to find where he lives.
I'm afraid I don't know, dear. Father Roach has access to the parish register. He might be able to help you.
Where can I find Father Roach?
At this time of day, he'll be taking his exercise in Herne Wood, to the west of the village.
Thank you. I'll go find him.
Be sure to listen out for his merry whistling. Such a jolly man.
West of the village, I guess. So, not sure what direction that is. We'll figure it out. I'm not going to ask her about that because I want to ask her about this.
What do you know of Hobbs Barrow?
Hobbs what?
Hobbs Barrow, a local burial mound.
The only place of burial I know about and care for is in this very churchyard.
Alright.
Thank you for your time.
Lord be with you.
A fine assortment of baked goods. A lovely treat for those who enjoy such things.
Okay, so I do want to go inside the church and have a look around because I think that for now is the only place where, you know, a glove would be found. But I feel like somebody is actively trying to hide something around here, and somebody who is, you know, outside of this town or something. But I'm not sure if they're somehow keeping everybody quiet. But we'll see.
Goodness me, look at these box pews. I've never seen any as tall as that before. Most unusual architecture, even for the Normans.
It's a rosary.
Is that a necklace? Someone has left a necklace hanging here. A silver cross. Sterling by the look of it. Maybe I can reunite it with its owner.
Or sell it.
The pews are contained within compartments that can be locked. I've seen a similar design in other Norman churches around England, but this is a particularly impressive example. The pews are contained within... I've seen
That's interesting.
a memorial list of former vicars. They stretch back several hundred years.
Yeah, I wonder how many vicars there have been. If church folk tend to live pretty long, so if they're a vicar for, 33 years, that's a lot of vicars from the 12th century. Or was it the 1200s?
I've no time for such things. This must be where the local vicar sacrifices the newborns. Stained glass depictions of various biblical scenes. It's not my specialist area.
Alright, there's not much here now. Let's see the other door.
Locked. Locked as well. I think they all might be.
Probably. I mean, this is one of those things, like...
The key is clearly the wrong shape for this lock.
Yeah, it makes no sense. I mean, this game has made sense thus far. We're not far into the game, but... sometimes there are puzzles that just are, like... completely go over my head, and because they include something that I... like, a connection that I don't know or understand, and then sometimes things are just ridiculous. But this game seems to be sort of, if not serious, it seems to be sort of semi-based in sort of, there's not that much humor in it yet, like with some of the older point-and-click games.
It's locked. This leads to the church tower, I presume.
From the tower, I could see around a lot, or far away. So I'm guessing, yeah, west is left. There he is. Sup? I would probably run away. No, I would probably run to help him, but no, I would run away because he's coming at me throwing up.
Very sorry. Oh, the shame. This malaise will not pass. Oh, the nausea. I need your help, young lady.
Tell me what you need.
Let the blood from my arm.
Excuse me?
Cut me. I beg you.
Okay, so cut him with what?
The trowel's blade is dull and
Yeah.
rusted. I need something that will provide a cleaner cut.
I think he dropped something down here. What is that? Spectacles. Go pick those up. So he was whistling before.
Ouch. The broken lens is extremely sharp.
He was whistling before and he was fine. But
Perhaps I shouldn't risk...
and then he saw me and started throwing up.
I don't think that will help.
Let me try picking it up again.
Ouch! The broken lens is extremely sharp.
So I don't think I'm in a hurry, but it sort of feels like I'm in a rush. Oh, handkerchief. I forgot about that.
This handkerchief was a gift from my mother. I hope she will understand. This should work.
And I'm not sure if bloodletting was a thing. I mean, I think it was, actually. No, well, 1800s. I don't know. I think, like, George Washington was bled to death, and then he was just like, you know, when they were done, he was just like, just leave me the fuck alone, let me die.
Are you sure you want me to do this?
Yes, it will cure me of my ills.
I shall do as you ask, Father.
So I feel like he's sacrificing his blood to some unholy nature.
Thank the Lord for my spare pair. God bless you. I already feel quite better.
I'm glad, Father.
The rapid healing properties of bloodletting cannot be overstated. I'm Frederick Roach, vicar of St. Edmund's Church.
My name is Thomasina Bateman. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Okay, so now we can stop for a minute to think. So he saw me, her, and then he started throwing up, and the bloodletting actually helped. So I'm still sort of trying to stay logical, but I would imagine things are going to get pretty weird at some point. So maybe this is the beginning of it. So I don't know why I feel like letting the blood was rather it wasn't for him, but it was giving blood rather than letting it or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Are you feeling better?
Yes, thank you.
What ails you, Father Roach?
I just ate a rotten berry, that's all. I like to pick blackberries for my supper, you see. They are quite delicious, as long as you mind the bramble. My apologies again. I wish we had met in different circumstances.
So, yeah, what also makes me think is that he sort of recognizes her for some reason. Like she is somehow a part of something or another, or we are, I am. I don't know what
Are you from
pronoun to use.
Beaulieu originally?
I was born in our very own St. Edmund's. It's quite the story.
Do tell.
My mother was sheltering there as a frightful tempest raged. And lo, did her waters break right there and then in that pew.
One could say that you were born into your role, Father.
Indeed. When my mother told me the story as a young boy, I knew that this was my calling.
Yeah, start with the easy stuff. Work our way towards the more controversial topics.
St. Edmund's is a fine building.
Thank you for saying so. It's hard work keeping her in good shape, but our congregation is always willing to lend a hand in the Lord's name.
What is it like being the vicar here?
Every day is a blessing, my child. I have a great love for our parish, and the Lord looks after us.
What about your congregation?
Numbers have fallen over the years, I must say. But those that remain are faithful and full of His Spirit.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
It's a quiet town. The railway line, which I presume you arrived by, is the only news of note we've had here for years.
I've heard the new station has received a mixed reaction.
I've heard many a debate, it's true. But my role is not to adjudicate on that matter. I'm very busy in my own work, you see.
As for Barrow, about Barrow first, maybe. I would assume he's gonna respond like, "What are you looking? Why are you looking for that?" I don't know, because I feel like he would know all the local superstition and stuff very well, because he talks to a lot of people and he has a leadership role around here, unlike the old lady.
What do you know of Hobbs Barrow?
I can't say I've heard of it.
It's supposedly a famous local landmark.
I'm afraid I know nothing about it.
I'm looking for Mr. Leonard Shoulder.
Oh, yes? Are you a relative?
No, it's a long story, but he invited me to Bewley.
And he didn't tell you his address?
He was to meet me last night at the Plough and Furrow, but he never came.
I see. Well, let me welcome you to Bewley on his behalf.
Thank you, Father. Do you know where Mr. Shoulder lives?
Let me think. It's been many moons since I've paid him a visit.
Perhaps you could allow me to take a look at the parish register.
No need. I remember it now. A fair hike across the moors.
Could you please give me directions?
I'll take you there myself. It's the least I can do after you aided me so.
Capital. Thank you.
Just let me know when you're ready to pay him a visit. I'll be resting here for the time being.
Thank you for your time.
Lord be with you.
I don't wish to look too closely. I'm not going near it. It smells disgusting.
Right, so I mean, yeah, I'll just follow logic for now and not wander around too much. So I think we're ready to go. There would be, I guess, places I could go and find some equipment or something like that, but for now I'm just gonna let's go to Mr. Shoulder's house. It's sort of weird that he didn't, like, he was sort of being avoidant, of course, like everybody else is, and then when asked, when he knew that I could access the register, he knew that it was too late to sort of say that he doesn't know, because they would have had to walk all the way back there. But he seems like a capable liar, if nothing else. So we'll see what happens.
I'm ready to go to Mr. Shoulder's house.
Excellent. I feel the fresh air will do me well. Follow me.
Good morning, Father.
Good morning, Mrs. Duplancy. Mrs. Duplancy, this is Thomasina Bateman, a visitor to our parish.
We've already had the pleasure of meeting, Father.
Excellent. Miss Bateman, don't hesitate to try one of Mrs. Duplancy's wonderful cakes.
Yes, I've heard about her famous Bakewell puddings.
I'll be here all day, young lady. But remember, once they're gone, they're gone. Those little whelps have already gobbled up all the gingerbread.
You are doing God's work, Mrs. Duplancy.
He smiles upon us, Father.
Miss Bateman, if you'd like to follow me.
Yeah, I'm feeling wary about the cakes. Maybe he had one.
Let's talk of graves, of worms, and epitaphs. Make dust our paper, and with rainy eyes, write sorrow on the bosom of the earth. Let's choose executors, and talk of wills.
Shakespeare?
Quite. Which play?
Oh my god, I don't think I've read a single Shakespeare since the language is not very inviting for someone of my capabilities. But I would say Richard II, maybe Richard II or Macbeth, because this is England. I'll say Richard II.
Richard II?
Correct. You are well read, Miss Bateman. Studying the work of the bard is one of my favorite pastimes. Follow me. Behold, the vast expanse of God's creation. The moors extend as far as the mortal eye can see. Beautiful, is it not?
Indeed, the moors are beautiful.
The beauty of God's creation is that it takes so many forms. How can one take in such a view and not have faith? Some look at these moors and think this a godless land. But I tell you, he is found in all domains. The Lord's work is all about us. Tell me, Miss Bateman, do you believe in God?
Yeah, I think I'll choose the honest direction. It gives information out, but then I won't run into a situation where I say one thing and then have to sort of backtrack. So she seems like, the character seems like a person who would tell the truth as well.
I was brought up Anglican. The church was an important part of my early life, Father Roach. But what happened to my father eventually made me question things.
If you don't mind me asking, my child, what happened to your father?
He had an accident when I was very young.
Come along now, Thomasina. Let's get out of the rain.
Fancy.
Remember what I told you, all right? Be a good girl. People are unwell here. They don't want to hear you running about making noise.
Oh, right.
Understood?
Yes, Mother.
Good. And don't annoy the nurses.
I promise I won't.
Good. Now, let's see your father.
So I guess it's an asylum rather than a hospital.
Mummy is crying. Daddy is sleeping. Daddy, wake up! Mummy? Mummy?
Good evening, Mr. Bateman. Hello, little one. You must be Thomasina?
Yes.
My name is Nurse Blaketon. I just need to talk to your mummy for a little bit. I'm sorry to disturb you, Mrs. Bateman. Mrs. Bateman?
Will he ever talk again, Nurse Blaketon?
The doctor is uncertain, Mrs. Bateman. There is the possibility that Mr. Bateman won't regain any movement at all. But we will do our utmost to look after Mr. Bateman here at Ticehurst, ma'am. He will have a nurse by his side at all times, I can assure you.
What sort of god would allow this fate to befall such a kind and honest man?
I'm sorry to hear this. God moves in mysterious ways, but he loves us all. Come along now.
Nah, maybe it wasn't an asylum. I guess it was like a permanent sort of home for people.
Hello? She scampered off in a hurry. Who was that?
Some primitive folk make their home out on the moors. I suggest you keep your wits about you when you are exploring, and don't stray too far from Bewley.
I see. How much farther to Mr. Shoulder's house?
Still quite a walk, I'm afraid, but we'll get to him soon enough. Now then, take a look at this. Legend has it that this cairn has stood here for over 1,000 years.
How remarkable.
The Devil's Toe.
I beg your pardon?
That's what it's called. The Devil's Toe.
Oh, I see.
Come now, onward.
We walked and walked across that vast, featureless landscape. All the while, Father Roach was whistling away merrily. Just as I had begun to wonder if we were hopelessly lost, a building emerged from the mist. Mr. Shoulder's cottage.
Here we are, Miss Bateman. Unless my memory fails me completely, this is Mr. Leonard Shoulder's house.
Thank you for your help, Father Roach.
Now, no need to thank me after your providential assistance today. However, I have something to ask you.
Yes?
Please don't tell Mrs. Duplancy about my little scene in the woods. She will only fret. The poor dear woman has enough on her mind as it is.
I shan't mention it.
Thank you. You'd better see if Mr. Shoulder is in.
Sort of like him to leave because he's a little bit suspicious.
A sweet little hen, plump and well groomed.
And it's also the primitives living around. I'm like, I don't think this is like a time portal kind of thing, but you never know. I think maybe, yeah, it's just like a weird sort of thing that everyone around here knows about, but they don't talk about it because it's like something they don't really understand or something. But he seems like he's a faithful man, I don't know. But, yeah.
I'm rather fond of this colour. Perhaps Mr. Shoulder and I share similar taste. A carved stone has been affixed to the door. I think it depicts a crescent moon. Father, what do you make of this?
A peculiar adornment. I've not seen any like this in Bewley, though it does remind me of a passage by the bard himself. It is the very error of the moon. She comes nearer earth than she was wont, and makes men mad.
Othello?
Precisely, Miss Bateman. Your knowledge of the bard is presently flawless.
I consider myself to be well read, Father Roach.
It's delightful to meet a fellow bookworm, I must say.
Yeah, total guess.
A carved stone has been affixed to the
So,
door.
maybe
I think it depicts a crescent moon.
there's like a...
It's bolted onto the door itself. I can't remove it.
So it's sort of, maybe there's like a duality of old sort of superstition, magic and stuff, and then he's trying to sort of keep Christianity at like the good side, sort of balancing out the whatever quote unquote evil there is. We'll find out, but maybe that's the theme. But since these are well fed and stuff, I guess he hasn't been away for long if he's dead or gone.
No sign of life?
None. The window is nice and clean. The dwelling is by no means abandoned. Mr. Shoulder? Is Thomasina Bateman here? I'm here in Bewley as discussed.
Maybe try again. His hearing probably isn't the best at his age.
A carved stone, I think.
Didn't mean to do that.
Mr. Shoulder, are you home? It appears Mr. Shoulder is not at home. Curses.
Perhaps you could try the handle?
It's locked.
Alright, let's have a look around.
Mr. Shoulder has stacked blocks of wood neatly beneath this small lean-to.
Very neat and tidy.
The glove.
A pair of thick woolen trousers. That glove looks familiar. I wonder if it matches the glove I found behind the plough and furrow.
I really don't
A
like...
woolen undergarment.
I really don't like him looking around at what I'm doing. But I guess she doesn't understand that maybe you can't trust him.
The gloves are a pair. Does this mean Mr. Shoulder was in the alley last night? Why didn't he come inside to see me?
Perhaps he's gone for a stroll.
Possibly.
I'd suggest you call back later, my child. I myself must make my way back home. I have some matters to attend to at the church. Shall I accompany you back to Bewley?
No, you go ahead, Father, thank you.
As you wish. Farewell, Miss Bateman. I hope Mr. Shoulder finds his way to you.
Thank you for your help, Father Roach.
My pleasure. Parting is such sweet sorrow.
Oh, shit. God damn it. Every time I guess right, I know, like, it doesn't... When you're guessing, it doesn't matter if you... Like, there's no logic behind it. But I am superstitious enough to feel like there is... I know there's nothing behind making a guess. It doesn't matter at all, really. But there's some intuition about maybe what type of sort of... in this case, like how they're saying it, or what the Jesus Christ, it's hard to speak. Whatever they're saying is somehow related to the topic of the thing. Now I don't really remember what he said. Parting. I would say it's this one because I've no idea what this is about. I've heard the name. But...
Romeo and Juliet.
Correct.
Jesus.
That I shall say good night till it be morning. You've proven yourself to be an impeccable scholar of the bard, my child. Lord be with you.
So yeah, because
Mr. Shoulder, you've brought me to Bewley, and now you're nowhere to be found.
So yeah, there is logic, there is intuition and logic in guesses sometimes, unless it's just picking a number. That one was, sort of, it felt too obvious, but then again, so the only thing I had, so.
Mr. Shoulder must have dropped the matching glove last night. What was he doing in the alley? Rather rude of him not to come inside and see me.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, like, why would he drop the glove? What happened? Why would he carry one glove and drop it? Could it be... Well, it could be anything right now. We have no information, but he could have if he was grabbed from here, and he was able to grab one glove and then drop it as a sign or a hint for sort of me to get suspicious or something, you know, and connect him to that alley, that might be something. But I really don't know.
A sweet little hen, plump and well groomed. You're a sweet little thing, aren't you?
You gonna poop on me?
You're a sweet little thing, aren't you?
Let's try the brown one. I think he's a... Is it a rooster or a chicken?
He looks much too unruly to be picked up.
I was thinking about that. Oh yeah, I should have asked the vicar about this. I'll ask him later. I keep forgetting about the items. This makes no sense.
I do not wish to harass the rooster.
I just felt like I need to try it because you draw turkeys with your hand, and that was the only connection I could think about. What is the to-do list? I actually don't want to use that either for now, at least, because things are still relatively well. I'll try knocking on the door a little bit now that the vicar's gone.
I've come a long way to meet you, Mr. Shoulder. Please open the door.
Now I'm thinking maybe I should have followed him back, because now he's going to at least be able to do something before I get back there.
The window is much too high up to reach. This must provide a charming view across the moor.
There hasn't been any sort of pixel accurate items, at least I haven't noticed them yet, so I should sort of keep my eyes open for something weird, but there's nothing really here that I can think of, because I cannot I don't think I can go behind the house.
Slightly damp.
Oh yeah, that was what I was wondering
The
about too.
trousers feel damp. Freshly hung or still wet from last night's rain?
Could be either. So yeah, and I was thinking somebody placed this on here to make him go mad, like as a part of some spell, and he's just gone crazy or something. Or somebody's ruling him, and the vicar knows that in a way, because he's quoting, he gave me like a hint that he understands what's going on in a sense, because I'm sure there are a lot of quotes about moons in Shakespeare.
As I trudged back to Bewley across those cold moors, I made a new resolution. I would find Hobbs Barrow myself, with or without Mr. Shoulder. The train! That must be Kenneth. I should go and meet him at the station. Margaret's Lookout. I wonder who Margaret is, or was.
Can't remember if there was a memory of her on the church wall.
A fine spot to take a rest.
I'm just gonna sit down. Alright. Yeah. It's the crow again. Just before, because... Oh, fresh grave. Huh. The gravedigger should know something about this, and I'll see if there's a Margaret here.
William Paxton. Modest and gentle of heart. This appears to be a recently dug, unmarked grave. Here lies Elizabeth Farnaby. Samuel Bryden. Death is only a shadow across the path to heaven. Joseph Davis. Here lies Margaret Tillett, beloved mother, wife, and sister.
All right.
Forever in light, Anne Kemp. John Purchase, dearly beloved husband of Florence.
So there's a Margaret there, but doesn't really mean much. Fresh grave is interesting. I have the trowel, so I could sort of go digging around there, but I don't think that's something I really want to do right now. So let's go talk to the grave guy right just before, because things might change a little bit, and I still haven't even gone inside the cobblers or anything, but...
Hello? I really must find Hobbs Barrow.
What did I tell you last time? Not to be found digging around in those things.
Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
Alright, so if I can guess right, or if I will make a guess, the assistant is probably not there. But, I mean, I can't see what I'm going to do next if he's not there. Like, I'm just going to leave. Or I would leave. Though I have no money.
Where is Kenneth? He was supposed to wait for me at the station. Mr. Tillett, where did you go last night?
Have we met?
Last night at the Plough and Furrow.
Oh, Miss Bateman. I were blind drunk last night and woke up with a stinking headache.
You still smell like a brewery.
Sorry.
You went to use the lavatory and never came back, Mr. Tillett. I searched everywhere for you.
I think I remember you bought me a drink. Then it's all a blur. I woke up in my bed this morning with my wife sour at me for waking her at some ungodly hour.
Yeah, it makes me sort of, it's hinting towards him being, because he's a drunk, so he can take a beer, or a few sips of a beer, I don't know. Maybe they put something in it, or the innkeeper did. I'm just totally speculating on pretty much no ground at all here.
About last night. You really don't remember where you went last night?
As I say, it's all a blur. I remember needing a piss. Then... nothing. Well, you must have missed me when I came out.
I did not. I even went to the gents' toilets to find you.
Oh, aye. A sight for sore eyes.
It was. I checked everywhere, and you were nowhere to be found. The back door leading to the alleyway was blocked from the outside.
Oh, aye?
Yes. You must have exited through that door, Mr. Tillett.
But you just said it were blocked.
There must be an explanation.
My mind has drawn a blank.
Why was the door blocked? Did you block it?
I told you I don't remember. I've nowt to say 'cause I remember nowt.
About last night. What were you going to tell me about Leonard Shoulder?
Who?
Leonard Shoulder. You told me you knew him. And promised to tell me more if I bought you a drink. Which I did. So what were you going to tell me?
I don't really know the old bugger.
But you said you did.
Oh, aye. No, I know nowt about him. No, nowt about Leonard Shoulder.
You're hiding something, Mr. Tillett. I don't believe you.
I say a lot of things when I've got the drink in me. I probably just wanted you to buy me an ale.
A likely story.
Look, what would I gain from lying to you? I just wanted another drink.
Even if that's the case, it doesn't explain your disappearance.
Aye, I don't remember out.
Yeah, I mean, it seems probable that he's just wanting to get a drink, tell a tall tale about some guy that he doesn't really know. And sometimes a few coincidences happen in a row, but something's going on for sure.
How's your headache faring?
It feels like a steam engine is driving full pelt in a circle around me skull.
Be sure to drink plenty of water, Mr. Tillett.
Aye. I'll survive.
I'm looking for my assistant, Kenneth.
Oh, aye.
His train has arrived.
Not a single soul disembarked the last train, Miss Bateman.
Impossible. Was that not the midday train from London by way of Derby?
Aye, it were. Mr. Price were here, unloaded a few crates.
But no Kenneth.
Not a soul. Hold on. One of them crates had your name on it, Miss Bateman. A great big one it were, with...
A red ribbon.
Aye.
What is Kenneth playing at, sending my equipment but not himself? Curses.
So probably no money. So I can't get out, even if I wanted to.
Where is my crate now?
Mr. Price took away all the crates on his cart.
Who?
Mr. Price, he's the postmaster.
Where can I find Mr. Price?
He lives above the storeroom, just north of the plough and furrow. You'll see it. There's a Royal Mail plaque on the wall.
Thank you. So, you work here?
Aye. Bewley Station Master at your service. Would you like to buy a ticket?
Not just yet, thank you. I understand that some of the locals are not too happy about this new station.
Aye. I'd go as far as saying the whole village.
How long has the station been open for?
About 3 months. We're on the Midland Railway line. This employment's been a saviour for me. If I weren't stood here, I'd be drinking my life away at the pub right now. It's worth the occasional withering look from Cyril and the rest of them.
I guess they don't really care about the station that much, so they sent the drunken get rid of him and get someone to watch it. 2 birds with 1 stone, I guess.
I found Mr. Shoulder's house, but he wasn't home.
Don't worry. You'll find him.
What does a station master do?
A bit of this and a bit of that. I don't wish to bore you with such things.
As you wish.
My responsibilities here keep me on the straight and narrow, I'll tell you that much. A sense of duty can do wonders for a lost soul.
Indeed. This must be a rather lonesome post to occupy.
Trains pass through here more regularly than you might think, lass.
Where can I find Mr. Price?
He lives above the storeroom. You'll see it.
Thank you. I'm looking for Hobbs Barrow.
Hobbs Barrow.
It's why Leonard Shoulder invited me to Bewley. He thought I might like to excavate it.
Oh, aye. I heard about a Hobbs Barrow somewhere out there. There's some old stories around it.
What stories?
I can't remember.
Mr. Tillett, please. This is important.
I'm awfully sorry, Miss Bateman. I'll try to remember. If he invited you here, then I'm sure Mr. Shoulder will tell you all about it.
That's if I ever get to meet him.
I'm sure you will.
Farewell for now.
Ta-ra!
Bewley, home of the elusive Hobbs Barrow.
Okay. So... I should... Is there an exit this way? No. Postmaster, logical. Ask him about... Oh, hello. The cat was pretty darn ugly, I gotta say. Cyril.
Cyril is no doubt keeping watch on any potential new arrivals from the railway station. Good day to you, Cyril.
I'll do, lass.
What are you up to, Cyril?
Keeping an eye on that bleeding railway station. That's what. Thankfully, no one got off the last train.
Really hate that station, don't you?
Oh, I curse Midland Railway for bringing their damn line through Bewley. This is our town, our land. 'Tis no place for outsiders.
So you keep saying.
Anyway, no more trains today. Almost time to celebrate with an ale, I think.
I could do with one myself.
You paying?
No. I found Mr. Shoulder's house today, but he wasn't home.
Why the bleeding hell should I care, lass?
I'm looking for Hobbs Barrow. Do you know where it is?
Mind your own business, lass.
You really are quite helpful, aren't you?
Ah,
Goodbye.
ta-ra, lass.
Well, at least he's polite in a way. The insignia. I think it's this place right here. There's no door. I guess that's just his cart.
A small plaque beside the door reads Vicarage. That must be the postmaster's storeroom. He looks a little chirpier than your average Bewley resident. Hello,
Good day. I haven't seen you in Bewley before.
I'm just visiting.
Lovely. It's nice to see a new face. We don't get many visitors. My name's Henry. Henry Long.
Nice to meet you, Henry. Thomasina Bateman.
Wonderful. What a treat.
You seem in a good mood, Mr. Long.
It's just lovely to see a new face. Where are you from, Miss Bateman?
Well, it's hard to trust anyone here, that's true, but there's no... London is a big place.
Originally a small town on the outskirts of Derby, Mr. Long, though I currently reside in London.
London? I've never met anyone from London. How very exciting. Have you lived there a long time?
It's been quite a few years now, yes.
I've heard that the air there is so heavy with smoke, it makes it hard to breathe. Is that true?
Some days.
Oh, you must miss the fresh northern air. Well, you've got that in Bewley. No factories out here. Such things are a blight on his creation. I were born in this very home I stand in front of. Bewley is in my blood. Why would I ever want to leave? Especially now I can meet new folk thanks to the railway line.
Sounds like he's trying to convince himself not to leave because maybe he's not able to for some reason.
I'm looking for Mr. Price, the postmaster.
Oh, Mr. Price, my lovely neighbour. I'm afraid you've just missed him.
Curses.
I saw him wheeling a large crate into his storeroom just there.
It must be mine. I really need it.
Have a look through the window to see if it's yours.
Where did Mr. Price go?
I don't know. The man were in a hurry. I know he has family in Bakewell.
That's miles away. Did he leave by foot?
No, by horse. He must be a few miles down the road by now.
Curses. When will Mr. Price be back?
He didn't say. Could be tonight, could be a few days.
How infuriating.
I told him I'd keep watch of his storeroom, and I'm a man of my word, Miss Bateman. I shall not budge from this spot.
Oh, damn it. Well, we'll find a way in there.
Your opinion of the railway station differs widely from your fellow townsfolk, Mr. Long. I've not met anyone particularly keen on it.
That railway line is the start of a new era for Bewley. Mark my words. There's much to protect here, but we need new blood. I hope that some of you visitors will actually stay here permanently.
Why is that?
So I have new friends to talk to. Some people here don't want any new friends. Cyril Farnaby, the miserable old sod, is the worst offender.
Is this like a place where no one can leave when they enter or something? Alright, let's start digging.
I've had the pleasure of meeting Cyril. He really dislikes the railway station.
Absolutely miserable he is. I've tried to convince him many times that the station will help Bewley. He just doesn't understand.
I met him last night in the Plough and Furrow.
Aye, the scene of our many debates. Blimey, I could go for an ale right now, actually.
Can I buy you a drink?
Really?
No. Wait. Do you think Mr. Kemp will let me open a tap?
Perhaps. You could always ask him. I shouldn't leave anyway. Mr. Price is relying on me to keep watch of his storeroom.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
Aye, funny old fellow. I hear he lives way out on the moors somewhere.
Have you seen him recently?
No, not for a long while now that you mention it. Why do you ask?
It's a long story, but I was to meet him in Bewley. He invited me here.
Well, I must thank him when I see him for inviting such an enchanting young woman.
You flatter me, Mr. Long. I'm looking for Hobbs Barrow.
One of those old burial hills?
Yes. Do you know where it is?
Believe it or not, I haven't set foot on the moor since I were a child.
Why is that?
I've got all I need right here in Bewley. And we are all truly blessed with the railway station, which brings us lovely new faces.
Goodbye.
Don't be a stranger.
So I'm not sure if they're like surprised that he's gone, or whether they're hiding the fact that he's gone, or hiding the fact that people sometimes just disappear or something. But yeah, there's something about that, definitely. Let's have a look.
There's my crate. Kenneth always ties a red ribbon to it. I can see an envelope tucked behind the ribbon. Perhaps it can help explain Kenneth's absence. I'm going to have to get in there.
Most definitely.
Royal Mail, Postmaster's Residence. This must be the local post office.
The postmaster isn't home.
But my crate is in there.
You'll have to wait for Mr. Price to get back.
That's not going to happen. The obvious thing would have him just leave. But I don't know how to do that right now. So I'll go talk to the vicar. Because there's still so much to explore, so I don't really have to get myself stuck on things.
It's the vicarage. I don't think anyone is home.
Maybe Betty saw him do something, or at least arrive in town.
Good day.
Hello, miss.
Are you sure you know nothing of Hobbs Barrow? I really must find it.
I'm sure.
Goodbye.
Bye, miss.
Yeah, so the kids are just sort of avoidant. I guess Douglas doesn't know, and she sort of knows just not to talk about it or something. Vicar isn't here. I'll ask her about the necklace.
Excuse me, I found this necklace inside the church. Is it yours?
No, Pet. Perhaps someone left it behind yesterday. You keep hold of it for now. I'll ask around at the next service.
Are you sure?
I trust you.
I didn't want to give it to her anyway. Let me just have a walk around, because I don't think I can get like too far away from town. Just see where the vicar came from and stuff. If I see actual berries around here, then well, yeah, he might have just made it up as he went along, just because he saw some berries. And actually, I think I'll leave it here for now, because I think the video's been going on for an hour at least. So the vicar is sort of somewhere, not sure. I didn't check the tower door. The glove, ask for a tap. At least I need to get into the post office to get the letter, and then hopefully there's money in there. I need that more than an explanation, I guess. So I'll leave it here, and I'll carry on in the next video.